letters on a glass, in a language only lonely people read. Each drop a syllable that doesn't last, a fleeting verse for those who cannot sleep. I trace the words before they slide away, and wonder who they were addressed to. Somewhere between the wipers and the dark, the CD folds itself into a sigh. I'm learning how to love the quiet part, when nothing needs a reason or why. The dashboard grows like embers in a church, a congregation of one sermon of rain. I'll stop looking for the things I used to search. Now I just watch the water find a drain. That highway hums a hymn I've always known, a melody that only plays alone. Somewhere between the wipers and the dark, the city folds itself into a sigh. I'm learning how to love the quiet part, but nothing needs a reason or a why. Maybe silence is the kindest tongue. It speaks in frequencies the broken understand. Every street light is a story left unsung. Every shadow is an outstretched hand.
Only rain remains, tapping like a patient clock.
These hours are made of porcelain, so thin that breathing leaves a crack. The ceiling holds the weight of when I promised I would not look back. A coffee cup is gone to sleep, its warmth surrendered to the air. I'm harvesting the things I keep in rooms that echo with no prayer. And the rain doesn't fall, it confesses, pouring down on the pavement like scripture. Every drop is a weight that it blesses, every silence a frame without picture. The piano plays a note so still, it hangs like dust inside a beam, a monument to human will to stay awake inside a dream. I press my forehead to the glass, the cold reminds me I'm still here. These porcelain hours always pass, but never tell me what they clear. And the rain doesn't fall, it confesses, pouring down on the pavement like scripture. Every drop is a weight that it blesses, every silence a frame without picture. What if the quiet is not emptiness, but a room that the noise never found? What if this stillness is a tenderness that only speaks without a sound? This guitar knows more about my hands than anyone who's ever held them. It memorizes all my reprimands and plays them back as quiet anthems. The floorboards keep a diary of feet that pace these halls from dusk to dawn. Each creaker stands a bittersweet, a wooden sonnet, then it's gone. So I'll play the notes that have no name, the ones that live between the frets. Music born from something I can't claim, a lullaby of small regrets. The candle flickers like a heartbeat, casting shadows into verse. This room becomes a dim retreat where silence is rehearsed. I hum the tune my father sang when summer felt like it would stay, before the autumn colors rain and painted everything in gray. So I'll play the notes that have no name, the ones that live between the frets. Music born from something I can't claim, a lullaby of small regrets. Yeah. Some songs are not meant to be heard, they exist like prayers inside a chest. Every unresolved, unspoken word finds peace when finally put to rest. Oh. gravity tonight is made of it. It pulls me down with gentle hands. No violence, just a soft inheritance. A weight I finally understand. The bass hums underneath the floorboard, like a prayer to building key. Frequency for those who hoard it. Every promise that the daylight reads. Let me sing, let me fall through the velvet, past the wall where the heavy and the soft collide. There's a room on the other side. My shadows dancing without music, moving to a clock that lost its hands. The darkness here is therapeutic. It speaks a tongue my body understands. Stop resisting all this pulling. The weight is warm, the silence thin. Like every sorrow has been schooling me in the art of recompense. Let me sing, let me fall through the velvet, past the wall where the heavy and the soft collide. There's a room on the other side. There is beauty in surrendering to the undertow of night. Every wound is just a rendering of a soul that learned to fight. The convenience store hums with fluorescent prayer, a cathedral for the ones who wander late. I buy a drink I'll never finish there, and watch the moths negotiate the light's estate. My reflection in the freezer door looks like someone I used to know. She had opinions, kept the score. Now she just watches the midnight show. We are all fluorescent ghosts, haunting hours at 3 a.m. Translucent, fading at our posts, writing journals we won't send. The cashier nods, a silent priest, absolving sins with pocket change. Outside the city is deceased, and every street looks rearranged. I walk through puddles like a child who hasn't learned that shoes get wet. The rain is honest, undefiled, the only truth without regret. We are all fluorescent ghosts, haunting hours at 3 a.m. Translucent, fading at our posts, writing journals we won't send. not the lost but the unfound, searching for a different light that only glows without a sound. different roof. The same silver light on a different floor. I press my hand against the night for proof that distance is a door and not a wall. Your city sleeps 3 hours ahead of mine, but the moon keeps no appointments, sets no clocks. We orbit in a parallel design, two ships that recognize each other's docks. We are parallel moons, reflecting the same borrowed light, pulling the same quiet tunes from opposite sides of the night. Oh, your morning is my midnight second act. The coffee that you pour, my lullaby. We share the constellations, that's a fact. The same eternal ink across the sky. I close my eyes and hear you breathing still. Across the wire, across the hemisphere. You are the silence after the last good wind. The only absence I can hold right here. We are parallel moons, reflecting the same borrowed light, the same quiet tune from opposite sides of the night. And maybe nearness was never about the distance measured in miles or years, but the way two hearts can speak without a single word to dry their
The best thoughts arrive uninvited at the edge of a page no one asked you to fill.
I write in margins where the author stopped, between the lines of someone else's truth. A scribbled thought that never fully cropped, a footnote to my disappearing youth. The lamp creates a kingdom on my desk, where pencil shavings are the fallen leaves, and every highlighted passage is a quest for meaning that the daylight never grieves. We are Marginalia, the notes in between, the thoughts too fragile for the center of the page, the quiet ink that says what others mean, the understudies on the main stage. My coffee's cold, which means an hour's passed without my noticing the clock's parade. I'm buried in a paragraph that asked a question that the author never made. The bookmark holds a place where I gave up, or maybe where I finally began. Each chapter is an overflowing cup of someone else's carefully laid plan. We are Marginalia, the notes in between, the thoughts too fragile for the center of the page, the quiet ink that says what others mean, the understudies on the main stage. We are Marginalia, the notes in between, the thoughts too fragile for the center of the page, the quiet ink that says what others mean, the understudies on the main stage. And yet the margins hold what matters most, the human trembling at the edge of text. Every scribble is a quiet toast to the reader, wonder My tears taste like the graphite on my hand. From writing letters I will never fold. The pencil breaks the sentence, understands that some truths are too tender to be told. I whittle down the hours to their bone, until only the marrow of the night remains. A flavor that I've only ever known, when silence holds its breath and entertains. They strip it down to salt and graphite, to the mineral of what I feel. There's a beauty in the expedite of a wound that's learning how to heal. The radiator clicks a Morse code prayer to the pipes that run beneath the floor. A conversation of the everywhere, between the walls that wanna say much more. I've learned to read the language of the spies, the eloquence of almost nothing at all. Like when the trees is speaking naked bars, or shadows lengthening before the fall. Or strip it down to salt and graphite, to the mineral of what I feel. There's a beauty in the expedite of a wound that's learning how to heal. Less is not the absence of enough, less is everything with nothing in the way. The rawest songs are sung without the stuff that the daylight manufactures every day.
Even now, at the coldest hour of night, it remembers every breeze that ever spun through the window when the world was warm and bright. I pull the covers up around my chin, the way my mother's hands once tucked me in. And outside the rain begins to thin, to a whisper, to a prayer, to a hymn. Sing me something without any words, just the melody my childhood knew. Before the heavy of verbs, when a hum was all the truth I grew. The pillow holds the shape of every dream that I've forgotten by the time I wake. A gallery of things that only seem to exist for sleeping's gentle sake. My breathing slows to match the turning earth. This room becomes a vessel warm and small. And I remember what it's really worth, to feel safe enough to finally fall. Sing me something without any words, just the melody my childhood knew. Before the heavy weight of verbs, when a hum was all the truth I grew. is close their eyes and trust the dark to hold, to believe that what the silence was is a blanket made of something old.
I'm circling the light asleep like a moth that knows the flame is warm but cannot lend. My eyelids heavy as a winter cloth, my thoughts like water slipping through my hand. The ceiling has become an upside down sea where shadows swim like fish without a school, and consciousness is just a referee between the tide and the beautiful. Moth light, pull me in past the edge where waking ends. Let me land upon the thin border where the dreaming bends. The numbers on the clock have lost their shape. They blur into a language without vowels. The night is offering a soft escape through corridors that echo without walls. I'm halfway through the doorway now, I think. The gravity of sleep is pulling true. Standing at the precipice, the brink, where the world dissolves from me to you. Moth light, pull me in, past the edge where awakening ends. Let me land upon the thin border where the dreaming bends. What if sleep is not the absence of the day, but the day without its armor and its shield? What if dreaming is the honest way to show us what we've been afraid?